Welcome everybody, this is Adidas Infinite Trails 2021. In the next couple of minutes I want to give you all the information which are necessary to be a great competitor in the 2021 Adidas Infinite Trails. Unfortunately, we can't be together in a big race briefing, but I put a big picture on my wall, watching you all guys and looking into that exciting faces and happy faces which we saw in 2019. You know, since January 2020 we have been caught by a virus, SARS-CoV-2, and it has changed our life and we are not on the finish line yet. It's like a trail run, you know, you have ups and downs and the big goal is to reach that finish line. But unfortunately, with all the situations at the moment, that countries have different restrictions and haven't reached their own finish line, haven't reached their own set goals. We also have to adapt since 18 months right now. And what's important there is like figures, numbers going up, and everybody's here in Europe is going into autumn and into the winter time, and everybody knows exactly what that means, that people are going and spending more time indoors. So that is the reason that a lot of things have been adapted and the rules have been changed, and every 3 to 4 weeks Austria is also releasing some new rules. And this is like what is really important to understand, that everything we're doing right now for you guys has nothing to do with our own rules. It's like, it's rules which we have to respect. It's rules that to be safe in the race, not only for you as competitors, it's also safety for all the community, the volunteers, the staff, and everybody who is involved into Adidas Infinite Trails. Okay, ready, let's dive into the race briefing today. As you saw, we have changed the logo. We changed the logo from the team running or team world championship to celebrate the sport, and this is exactly what we want to do with you. We want to celebrate the sport, we want to celebrate the community, we want to celebrate the trails we are racing on. And with, unfortunately, the travel restriction for a lot of countries that are not able to travel the world yet, we were the opinion that we're changing the World Championship into an Infinite Trails race. And this is what we're going to do in 2021. And for the race briefing, as I said, it's like, you know, we have a couple of COVID rules which we have to respect, and you know your rules in your own country, and we're not talking about the normal rules. First of all, there will be a rule change on September 15, which will be tomorrow or on Thursday or on Friday, depends when the rules are going to be published. But it is a 3G event, and 3G has nothing to do with telephone or mobile phone. It's like 3G, it's an abbreviation in German, which means either you are vaccinated, and please remember you are in Europe and this is only 4 vaccinations which have been approved right now, which is BioNTech Pfizer, which is AstraZeneca, which is Moderna, and which is Johnson & Johnson. The second one is either you're recovered from COVID or you have a 48-hour valid PCR test, and this is really important. With the changing on the rules on the September 15, no antigen test will be allowed in our race, because an antigen test in Austria will only have a valid time by 24 hours. And just to give you an example, when you're showing up in the morning at 10 o'clock with a 24-hour antigen test, you will not be able to race, because your test will be finished already after 24 hours. So this is the reason that if you're not vaccinated, if you're not recovered from COVID, you have to bring a PCR test, which is valid 48 hours after you receive that email with your test result. Our COVID rules for Infinite Trails are very easy. It's the Austrian COVID rules apply, and we're not going deep into that things. You know, when you travel a country, you make yourself familiar with the rules in this country. What's really important for us is that we want, every time we're setting a rule, we just want to make sure that you guys are safe, and we're not doing additional ones. The only additional rules we're setting up is in our organization. So to get you the safety, we're putting a safety level on the organization on top. That means every time we ask you something, then it is part of the rules. So for example, we want you guys to wear an FFP2 mask at the entrance of the registration, because you're not only enter or coming to the registration, which is outdoor, you're also going indoor. And if you're going into big facilities, then there is a rule of an FFP2 mask. Also, we're going to measuring your body temperature. Don't worry, it's an automatic system. You will be just like scanned on the camera. Then a mask is not required if at the start. But if you feel comfortable wearing a mask at the start, you are happy to do that. Mask is also not required at an aid station, and the mask is not required in the Alpentherme, which is our athlete garden, which we're coming later on. Please do us a favor, don't cluster at any time. And what is really important, and which is based on the rules, is the contact tracing. And we have implemented a very, very easy system where you just do a QR code scan. You're going to do this on the first time on the registration, and then you will see this QR code a couple of times. It's based either on an SMS service or on the WhatsApp, and it is very, very, very simple. Safety first is our biggest concern, and this is our biggest goal for that race. Safety begins with teamwork. That means we will have to work all together. And if we all work together, we totally get this community in Adidas Infinite Trails safe. And this is the reason I put this heart of hands around Infinite Trails. And as I said in the beginning, for us it's really important that you understand it's not only about the races, it's about the whole community taking part in Adidas Infinite Trails 2021. Please do us a favor, if you're not feeling good on the race day or you have fever, please stay at home, please stay in the hotel and call the general emergency number. People in the operations center are used to work with COVID cases if you have a problem on that. So just put your number into your mobile phone later on after the race briefing, which is also the general emergency number throughout the whole race. Let's talk about the schedule. Very, very easy. We move from a 3-day schedule to a 1-day schedule. We only have the Friday, September 24th, which is the registration, which we're going to start at 9 a.m. until 3 p.m. And please, this will be only the registration for teams and 65K individual races. 3 p.m. until 6 p.m. is the registration time for the 15K runners. And from 6 to 7, there will going to be the race briefing, latest update live on YouTube and on our social media channels. Your race schedule for Saturday, you're starting at 5:30. The Alpentherme are open for the backdrop off. We will come later to this one. We have the first start at 6:30, which will be the 65K individual men and women. Then at 7 o'clock, all teams going to be starting. It doesn't, it's no difference between the loops, so you're going to start together as a team, not as you used to be in 2019, where you were starting as individual races in the team relay. 9 a.m. we have the start for the great 15K run. 3 p.m. this is the finish line cutoff for the 15K runners. And 7:30 the finish line cutoff for the teams and the 65K course. 8 o'clock it's the award ceremony in the Alpentherme. Venues, just to get you familiar with the venues. If you have been a racer in 2019, this is our finish line, which we have to separate it into two parts. One is the spectator area, the other one is the athletes only area, which is spreading out into the Kurpark. And we have to make sure that we're not mixing spectators and athletes in one race together, because we have to separate them. So please keep this in mind also when you bring your party, that the spectators are on one side, athletes are on the other side. In that area of the Kurpark, you can spread out in the morning, and please do us a favor, spread out. That's a huge area. You don't have to stay there in clusters by 10 or 15 people. Keep always the social distance by 1.5 to 2 meters. Here, as used where we had the home of Terex, a much smaller expo this year, but still some interesting stuff you can find. And then this is the novelty in 2021. We have the whole area of the Alpentherme, the Thermal Spa, for us, reserved exclusively for us for the race. In the Alpentherme, there's also the backdrop of in the morning. So you have the lockers in the Alpentherme Spa, where you can bring in your stuff, where you can bring in a big bag, not only the things you need after the race. So there's no backdrop of in the race area. This is your race area, as I said, spectators coming in here. This is a huge area. Also 3G testing, that means the certification of vaccination, recovering from COVID, or a test for spectators. And as athletes, you coming in down here with the Alpentherme below, and then it's like it depends on the rules if we have to do Disney cues, if you're lining up. But always please keep in mind that when you stand in line, keep the social distance. And you're coming in, you spread out in the morning, and then you're getting ready for your pre-start area, which is here, and then you're lining up for the start, which is right here. Coming home, after finishing the race, either you go out here or you go out down here, and you're coming in on that side, or you're coming from that side in, and then you're coming into the finish line. A short recovery area, which is our pick and run zone, and then please move out of the Kurpark and enjoy your time in the Athletes Garden in the Alpentherme. Infos, we have a lot of infos for you guys on the website. We send you out an email with the race map, GPS tracks, elevation profile. I put some real-life race courses on the Dropbox as well. We have a trail book including also the bad weather courses if you want to get familiar with a bad weather scenario, and as well the race briefing as a PDF and as a video, and everything is available on the Infinite Trails website. Also, we're always thinking of adding something, a new feature to the race, and this year we're adding, and being the first trail race event in the world, adding a race course visualization. That means our course director, Sibylle Schild, has been running the 100 kilometers with a GoPro, and we were filming and we're putting notes on it. We saw on the downloads that many of you have already checked it out, and we are very happy that it's helpful for you guys. But also, you know, we're doing a lot of changing on the app at the moment. So we bring in new features, for example, the Google satellite map, for example. So if you have a chance, just go on the App Store or on the Google Play Store and just update your app, and then you will have the newest features available as well. What is the course visualization? If you go on your mobile phone and you have downloaded the New Run app, then you go on Austria, you go on Infinite Trails, and then you can choose all the segments from the different loops we are offering to race. If you go into one loop, you have an overview, some informations, then you go into the route tab, and then you can see you have the New Run map, which shows you all the kilometer spots. The drop shows you the water station, and as well, as I said, right now we're going to add in the next 2 days the Google satellite map, and then you can also see tree lines and mountain lines and everything like this. Also, but what is course visualization? You have an elevation map for sure, where we lined out the 8 stations, for example, here on the 15K course. But the most important thing is the visualization of the course. We also have notes, where we're putting the notes together on important parts of the course. It's also some coaching tips for people who have never done a 15K run. We want to keep you safe through the race. Also, all information about the aid station, what is available, what products are there. A little bit about also some great pictures about the fantastic volunteers cheering on you guys. But everything comes down to the course visualization. And this is what you're going to see when you go on the app. Every single centimeter of the course has been filmed. And for example, here you see mandatory equipment, signs, and everything like this. If you go throughout the app, and you can fast forward, you can pause, you can do everything with the course visualization with the New Run app. Okay, talking about mandatory equipment. Right now we cover in the race briefing the 15K, the team race, and the 65K, but this is the mandatory equipment for the teams and the 65K. The basic equipment, we have a cold weather scenario and a hot weather scenario. Just let's go through quickly. Due to COVID reasons, we're not going to check your mandatory equipment at race registration. It is based on trust. You're also signing a waiver form that you confirm that you have read or viewed the race briefing that you will keep always the mandatory equipment. We don't want to go through your backpack. We don't want to go through your vest and everything like this. We know you are serious trail runners, and we trust you that you're not cheating. If you're cheating yourself, because then if you don't have a headlight with you on a specific time, you will be not able to continue. So what we're going to do is we're going to do Saturday morning, directly before the start, we're going to do some randoms, checking some equipment, or we ask you to prepare already your mandatory equipment. What we want to see is like, okay, headlight, for example, or not headlight, but the medical kit, a rain jacket and everything like this. We trust you that you have uploaded your GPS courses on your devices, or you have a printout map or whatever. For COVID reasons, we're not going to touch your equipment. You're going to just show it from a distance by 2 meters. And remember, we have no cups at the aid stations. You need to bring your own foldable cup to the aid station if you want to have a cup there. Mandatory equipment in the basic version is a flask or a reservoir, at least for 0.5 liters or 1 liter, which we recommend. You have a running backpack or a vest. You have a waterproof jacket. You have long sleeve top and long pant. You have a headlamp. For everybody on the team and on the 65, you need from 4:30 onwards a headlight. A whistle, then the GPS device, which I already said, or a printout map. We're not going to provide you printout maps. You have them on the trail book, you can print them out on yourself, so don't expect that you will get a printed map from us. Mobile phone, charged, switched on, your general emergency number is safe, and make sure that the network is working in Austria. Emergency equipment, your rescue blanket, always have it with it, the weather can change, the 2 compressors, the 2 gloves, the first aid dressing size, or an elastic adhesive bandage. Gloves and beanie for a cold weather scenario. Waterproof pant, an insulating top, long sleeve, and an insulating pant, long as well, if it gets cold. And if it gets hot, then we ask you to bring a cap, and at least right now 1 liter for water or fluids. If you check in with the poles, you must carry them until the loop is completed. For the 15K, guys, for you is a little bit more easy, as you're not going into a higher pound terrain. So the recommended 0.5 liter to 1 liter flask or reservoir, the waterproof jacket as well, your mobile phone charged, switched, general emergency number saved, and also if it gets cold for you, gloves and beanie, the waterproof pant, and the cap, and at least 1 liter water capacity if it's getting hot. For you the same, if you're taking your poles out, you must complete them. You're not allowed to hand them over throughout the race. Emergency contact, as you saw the number already, save it in your mobile phone if you need it, or the other possibility, it's written on the flip side of your bib number. And the bib number this year is a little bit different. You have 2 transponders, so don't cut the numbers, because otherwise you're cutting your timing chip and you won't be in the timing system. The procedure for a DNF, call the emergency number, let us know what is the medical clarification, then we let you know if we pick you up or if you're taking a taxi into the finish line. But please always call if you have a problem. There is experienced rescue staff sitting in the operations center and making sure that if help is needed, is provided immediately. Our severe weather conditions could be cold, windy, foggy. It could be rain, it could be snowfall. The 0-degree limit is an important factor, but it could be also thunderstorms, which can still occur in September. And for this, we have prepared bad weather courses, which are in the trail book already. And we have also some bad weather scenarios with rescue marshals evacuating the course if they're getting the call from the race director or from the operations center. Course marking, very important. If you have been on Infinite Trails, you always said we've done a good job, and we hope we're doing a good job again. So we have flags, we have signs, barrier tape, marking spray, warning signs, and LED lights if it's getting too dark, but I don't think that we need them this year. We have flags and tapes. This is the flags we're using. Also the tape which you can find on branches of the tree. And we're only using yellow tape for the course marking. If you see red, white stripes, that's not ours. If you see a red one or a blue one, that is not ours. Only the yellow Adidas Infinite Trails tape, that is your course marking. Also, we're using marking spray on the ground or on rocks or on tree stumps. As well, we marking special points, turnaround points, or we marking some obstacles on the course that you don't oversee them. This year we have a color concept, which is the yellow one, which is for every loop, including the 65K loop. And if we're only running 65K loop parts, this is only 2 parts on the course, then we're using the lavender course signs as well. This is your signage on all race courses. Yellow until you're coming to a point where it turns lavender for the 65K. All others always keep in yellow. If you're coming to a section where it's only 65K, which is the Graukogel loop, and which is also the part from Kramsker Kogel down to Poserhöhe, then you follow the lavender course signs and marking. Intersection signs, for example, showing you first sign 65K straight and SMN turn right. The other one is 65K left, L is straight. And if we're done with a course section for the 65K, then we have a clear sign which says end of 65K marking or section, then you follow black and yellow again. Some signage, stop signs. If you're coming to a situation on the street and you see a stop sign, you have to stop. And keep in mind, this is not a race on closed roads. You are in the traffic. You have to obey all traffic laws in force. Attention signs with danger, attachment, stream crossing, for example, oncoming traffic when you're going down on the road, for example, from the middle station, on crossing on the street. This is marking the start of a section, an end of a section, like a sign where we're putting up 250 meters to an aid station, the garbage where you can disposal, and as well if we have a special timing point. The race courses we also have prepared for you, and I have prepared for you guys a special map, which is also on the Adidas Infinite Trail site. It's a Google map where you can see all the race courses. You can click them off if you don't want to see the 15K run, then it takes us off, or the S loop, and so you can concentrate. But also we have layout points of interest where you can see here's the race office, here's your checkpoint for spectators, this is the finish line, and then you can see exactly where you need to go if you're zooming into the Google map. So play around a little bit with this map just to get familiar. You have also all the waypoints and the courses which are on that Google map. Okay, let's go into courses. 15K. 15K is a well-known course. It was the prologue course in 2019. It is 13.6 kilometers long. We're covering about 871 vertical meters, and it has 1 aid stations after 5.9 kilometers. A beautiful trail run course. Here's the aid station going over the ski slopes. Beautiful trails on the side of the Schlossalm, which is the mountainside called, where we're covering the 15K. Team Loop S, which is the smallest one, going up to Europe's highest grass mountain as well, 21.4 kilometers. A little bit different than in 2019, as we're not going over on the other side of the Kramsker Kogel, but following to Raststätten, going on the ridge to Europe's highest grass mountain. Here we are, and then following down to Raststätten, making a small turn and coming back to the village after 21.4 kilometers, 1,855 meters, and 2 aid stations. There's 3 aid stations marked in that elevation profile, but we're not sure if we will have water on that mountain hut, because it's very difficult in the summertime to have enough water. So that will be my last call on the race briefing, if I will let you know if there is an aid station or not. But please prepare and fill up on Raststätten. There will be emergency equipment. There will be some water. There will be also a possibility to buy or to get a Coke. But don't we are not able to bring everything up to 2,500 meters. In 2019, we were in a different time slot. We were able to fly with a helicopter, but this time we're not allowed to fly to the helicopter due to nature rules. Also, this is forbidden in the October or September time due to the Hirschbrunft securing wildlife. Here is a map which shows you important points. Here is the Gamska-Kogel hut, where you have your highest point, where you're going back to Rastretsen. And there the course splits. You're coming up on the yellow, and as a 65K runner, you keep straight, but as an S and M runner, you're making a right-hand turn. And this is what you see. And this is how it looks like from your perspective. Passing the hut, boom, right turn, and you're going back down to the valley. If you keep on going straight, then you're on the wrong one, and you're going to see that immediately because the sign's turning lavender. Team Loop M, you covering the 15K run and the Loop S as an infinity loop together, 34.9 kilometers long, 2,726 of vertical meters, and you have 4 to 5 aid stations depending if the Gamska-Kogel hut is available. So first of all, the 15K run, back to the valley, back to the finish line where you have another aid station to fill up, to get ready to rock on the mountains, beautiful mountain ridge run, and then all the way down back to the valley. And hopefully being satisfied with a beautiful day of trail running. Same thing for you. You point here, don't keep straight running, make your right-hand turn and back to the valley. This is the signs which you're going to see. The same thing as the S loop, and then we're already on the L loop. L loop, 43.7, 3,080 meters of vertical, 5 aid stations on the course. You're leaving the valley over the Planitzenweg, coming to the beautiful mountain hut of the Poserhöhe, world famous for their Kaiserschmarrn. If you have a chance on Sunday, don't miss it. And then you're making your way to the middle station of the Kogel, down to the aid station in Böckstein, and then on the former vertical up course of Infinite Trails in 2018 to Stubner Kogel, then down into the Angertal and back over the Vogellehrpfad into the heart of Bad Hofgastein to the Alpen Arena. What's important for you? You have a turn-off after 2.6 kilometers, and you have a water crossing on 5 kilometers. Sometimes there is no water, sometimes there is more water, so don't blame me if you say this was nothing. But it could be a little bit more water, and expect to get wet feet on that part. Here's your Planitzen turn-off after 2.6 kilometers. Only the L loop turns right, and this is clearly marked. You can see it on the sign, only L turns right here. All other loops straight and stay on the trail, and this is how it looks like. This is when you prepare with the Neuron app for your race day. So normally it would go left, but you keep on going to the right-hand side on the big road, on the gravel road, instead of turning into the woods again. Here is your stream crossing, sometimes small river, sometimes rising high. Expect to get some wet feet. Also, important for you, there's another really important point down here, which is the road crossing on the main road after 21.8 kilometers. Here, there is a stop sign. And stop means stop. You have to stop and have to wait for a clear green light from the course marshals being there for your safety. So don't run over the road, otherwise you can hit by a car. Here we go. It's a highly frequented road because people coming from the train out of the tunnel, which is connecting the Salzburger Land to Carinthia. And this is how it looks like. You're coming down into the beautiful town of Böckstein. And here is the main road. There will be some fences with big signs, mean stop, and then you continue after a clear sign of green over the road. Next one is 37.7 kilometers into the L course. There is a road crossing again, but right now we're not crossing the road exactly when you're coming to the road. We keep on the left side. And then we're moving about 100 meters on the left side before we're going to be able to cross the road. This is how it looks. You're coming to the Angertal Road, making the left, and stay on your left side until 100 or 150 meters. Here we go. You see there is traffic coming on. And here you turn in right, and you're almost back in finish. On the L loop, we have a cut of 4:30 at the aid station in Böckstein, which is after 22.3 kilometers. As well, we have a cutoff at 5:30 at the aid station at Stubner Kogel after 30.1 kilometers. Remember, which I told you in the beginning, from here it is important to have a headlight. Now maybe you're asking, why should I have a headlight at 4:30? Because it can take you 3 hours to get to this point at the aid station of the Stubner Kogel, and it will be dark starting at 7 o'clock. Just to keep this in mind, it's not June where we had light until 10 o'clock at night. It is September, October, where it's getting dark around 6:30 and will be pitch black at 7. 65K, new in the game. So we had to make a couple of changes adapting to the course. So the 65K course is coming down to 65.1, but don't worry, you will have still enough vertical meters, which is more than 5,081 vertical meters, covering all the 3 beautiful mountains of the Gastein Valley, and you have 10 aid stations. You will be the privileged one. You will be the only maximum of 100 runners going over the Gamsker Kogel, going into the beautiful Turfacher Scharte, and then you're making your way to Graukogel, middle station, top station, Palfnersee, on the ridge to the highest point on your course on the Graukogel as well, back to Böckstein, you're following the L-loop, and you're making your way up to the ridge of Tischkogel, Stubner Kogel, down to the Angertal Valley, and back over the beautiful Schloss Almside, back to the finish line. Congratulations, you are an ultra runner. What's important, we have that 10.8 spot where the S and M was turning right. Right now for you guys, it keeps straight going. Don't turn right. And this is how it looks like for you. You pass the hut, you're not turning right, you're focusing the cross on the next mountain, and then you're running downwards. 16 kilometers into the race, you're joining the L course as well. So this is your end of the section where you're going to see this one, and then you follow, as we marked it out, the yellow and black markers to the finish line. Next one will be the second only 65K part, starting at the middle station, at the aid station, 21.8 kilometers if you're going up, and 32.0 kilometers if you're going down from Graukogel upper station. This is how it looks like. Here's the aid station. After the aid station or before the aid station, you're making your left-hand turn, signed 65K. Here we go. And then also you have a couple of parts on the course which starts with a no pole section. You're not allowed to use your poles here anymore. Put them in the backpack or in your vest because you will need your hands for climbing as well. This is the start of the section right down on the Palfner Scharte. And also we have a Graukogel danger zone. Mountain Rescue provides you ropes for safety as well. Make the use of it. And this is how it looks in the POV for you guys. It's a block terrain, as you can see. So you don't want to have poles in the hands right here. So as you can see, you might need both hands to climb over the rocks. It's not dangerous, but you need to pay attention to it. And please remember and take the poles in your backpack. There's a clearly marked sign after the summit of the Graukogel, which means end of the pole section. Remember, you're coming down to the aid station again, and then here's the end of the section, and you're making your left-hand turn. Once again, you're coming also down on the same course as L, as we're sharing a couple of routes together. This is your road section. Please stop before crossing the main road. And then it's the same for you at 54.6 kilometers as well. It's the same situation with the Angertal crossing. 4:30, 5:30, exactly the same cutoffs for the 65K. We need to take you out of the race if you're not making it until the cutoff. If you want to continue after 4:30 and 5:30, you need to have a headlight every time from this time onwards. Coming to the aid station. The aid stations, we have 10 aid stations along the 5 different race courses. Some of them are shared. Remember, no cups provided in an aid station. Bring your foldable cup. All aid stations offer a full service, including drinks, food, power bar, sports nutrition. And for your safety, you don't, as we said, a mask to come into the aid station is not required. Our staff will have an FFP2 mask to bring you the safety. We are also virus protecting hand gloves. As well, we have a disinfection stand at the entrance. So please disinfect your hand, but also keep in mind, there's no self-service. The staff will hand over you the items. They are prepared. You can see them on apple slices or orange slices or a power bar cut in small things, but you're not allowed to touch them. It's the same thing as a breakfast menu. You know, I see some races right now where people grabbing food out of a big bowl. Just remember, you would be in the restaurant or in the morning in a hotel, and somebody would stand next to you, take his hand and take out like fruits on his plate. This is the same situation. That is what we have done in 2018 and 19 already. So this is nothing new to COVID or to Corona. It's like we want to be safe, and that is important. Also, with the new rule coming on September 15, which says, like, if you have people, more than 25 people coming together, you have to have a 3G area which needs to be controlled. There is no crewing, no supporting in that aid station area of a 250 meters. You can go on the course as a spectators, plus please avoid the aid station areas by 250 meters in a circle. All our aid stations look the same. If you're coming to one aid station, it doesn't matter, it will be always the same. We are separating the aid station into the running directions. Some of them it's not possible because you're using them on the way up and on the way down. But normally you're starting with Castana water, then you have the power bar, sports nutrition, then you have food, and on the other side you have either Coke or in a cold weather scenario you have also soup or tea. So the tables are separated by the color code. As drinks, we have Castana water, power bar, isoactive, Coke, tea or soup if a cold scenario happens. Power bar, sports nutrition, energized bars. We have the Real 5 energy bars, which are vegan. We have Power Gain and Power Gale shots, some protein bars and natural bars. So there must be something for you as well on that aid station. In terms of fruits, we have apple, oranges, bananas, and watermelon in slices. And also you ask for cucumbers, and this will be added this year on. Also on the snack bar, we have sweet and salty snacks, mini pretzel, peanuts, cracker, which are gluten-free, muffins, which are vegan, and mama waffles. And as well, if you need some salt, if it's getting hot, which you can put on melons or oranges, just missing the tequila, or on the cucumbers. Please do us a favor. We're a sustainable event and we're paying a lot attention on sustainability. So we are separating the garbage on bio-waste, residual waste, and composite plastic materials and cans. There's 4 bins, and each of the bin has a sign on the top where you just is going to see where to put the garbage in. Good. Registration time. Oh, quite far. So as we said, Friday morning the registration starts. So the registration is behind the finish line. This is an open amphitheater, which is called the Alpen Arena. And here we're starting. Here is your check-in into our registration. Here's the check-in huts for 3G. Then you're just moving 100 meters into that building, and this is where we have the race registration. What we want is we don't want to have queues. We don't want to have clusters. And this is why we call it, we want to have a no queue system on registration. That is the reason we have implemented a couple of things, which is a slot booking system for your registration. So you don't have to stay there or to wait in line, because you're going to book you a 20-minute slot, but please do us also a favor, come on that slot. What you need to bring is a confirmation email of the slot booking shown at the entrance to the security guard. Bring your signed liability form. Don't send it as a PDF right now to us. It makes no sense. You need to bring it. This is the system. You need to bring your signed liability form and a signed medical form. Then you have to bring your vaccination certificate or your recovery certificate from SARS-CoV-2, or the medical certificate or a proof of a valid negative test result for SARS-CoV-2, which is the 48 hours PCR test. Also, you need to bring 10 euros in cash, which you need for the deposit of the chip bracelet, giving you the entrance for a full day into the Alpentherme. Please remember, all the certificates you have to bring either in German or in English. It doesn't make sense if you come into Austria and you bring a French certificate or a Portuguese or Chinese. People won't be able to read this. And if you have any question, go on the website of the Austrian government and just type in Google Pre-Travel Austria. Perfect website, gives you all the information based on the countries, gives you all the information, what is necessary, what do I need into coming into Austria, because this is what we can't change. First of all, you have to come into the country, and then you can race. Registration order. As I said, you will be able from 9 o'clock on the September 20th to book your slot, which we're going to have on the website as well, and you also will find it in the event bags, which we're going to introduce you later on. Check-in means you only can come to the check-in time which is on your confirmation email. When it says 10 o'clock, then it's not 12 o'clock. Otherwise, if you're missing the slot, then you have to come back to us after 6 o'clock where we have a trouble counter shooter. But to bring people and to avoid clusters, we have to implement a system, which is the no-queue system, and it worked perfectly for a lot of events which had handled much more competitors than us. The free certification, don't forget also your ID, because you can't send a screenshot or like a photocopy of your vaccination pass or give it to a friend. No, you need to be in person with your ID that they can check it. That is the rule. It's the same if you travel with your girlfriend or your wife or whatever into holiday. You have to go through the check. You have to do security. Your girlfriend, your wife, or your husband cannot do this for you. It's the same in the restaurant. You can't send somebody, okay, go there, check it, and I come later and I do nothing. So please keep in mind, we have to do this. This is based on the rules in Austria, and we have to fulfill the rules. Otherwise, we have to pay a fine as well. Handover of the athlete wristband before you pay the 10 euros deposit. So please bring the 10 euros. You won't receive an athlete's wristband if you have not paid the 10 euros. Then it's done. You pick up your starter bag, and this is a great starter bag. Your wristband is the sign that you are 3G. That means you don't have to show us anything else. It's like when you're going into an area, you just show your wristband and then it's done. Very easy. Nobody's asking you for anything. It's just like the wristband. It is your ticket for everything. Your starter bag with your big bib numbers. As I said, don't cut them. You will have a second one, which is the black Terex one, which goes on the back of your body. You will have tattoos, which you can put on your arms with your elevation profiles. You will get a reusable cup in terms of you forgot your one. And you will get a sponge. Hopefully the weather will be nice that we can use that small sponge. Also, Adidas will provide you a fantastic Terex running cap. If it gets hot, you will also get some blister bandage as well. This is your bracelet for the Alpentherme. It's not your timing chip. Your timing chip is included in the bib number. Also, you will have in your bag like a supporter ID, which gives you 50% or more than 50% discount on the entrance to the Alpentherme, that your girlfriend, husband, whatever you name it, can join you in the Alpentherme, because, as I said in the beginning, it's reserved exclusively for competitors companions and volunteers on that day. Also, this is not a piece of paper. This is a real 10 euro worth it. It's a Gasteintaler, which is a currency in the valley. You can withdraw it in a lot of restaurants. Also in the Alpentherme, you can get another 10 euros discount. If you throw this away, then you're throwing 10 euros away because we had to pay for this. And this is also part of our sustainability program, that we wanted to support the local restaurants and the local shops. So you can go shopping with it, you can go for dinner as well, or you take it to the Alpentherme and getting another 10 euros discount. The race procedure, the time schedule, 65K in the morning. We're starting at 5:30 with the backdrop of in the Alpentherme. Put your stuff into the locker, then you come in to check in. We do random draws on the mandatory equipment, and at 6 o'clock it's your pre-start, and 6:30 off you go. The teams, also really important. You can't come earlier than 6 o'clock. This is the time from 5:30 until 6 o'clock, which is reserved for 65K. We know your bib numbers, the colors. The security guys know exactly. In that time, it's only black numbers. From 6 o'clock onwards, yes, you can come. Doesn't matter if you L, S, or M. 6 o'clock, check in, 6:35 pre-start. Right after the start, you can pump them up going on the ultra, and then it's your start at 7 o'clock. Time schedule for the 15K run, 7 a.m. backdrop off, 7 a.m. check-in, 8:30 pre-start, and 9 o'clock start. Please, as I said before, do not come before your time slot. Here is your check-in. The closed backdrop is in the Alpentherme, which is down here. Here you're coming in, it's the security control, the mandatory equipment control on the fly, how we call it. Then you're making your way. For example, here also you have your restrooms, your toilet, your dixies in the morning if you need to go pee before you're going to go on the start. And then it's ready for the pre-start, which is our Disney queues right here. You're lining up together with a team. There's no specific order. It's first come, first serve. But please, if you're lining up, keep the social distance of 1.5 meters and don't stay together as a group of 3 without respecting the social distancing. Line up, keep the social distance, and as I said, first come, first serve. It doesn't matter at 7 o'clock if you are a women's team, a men's team, or a mixed team. Then you move to the start line, which is right here, and then keep the distance. As the team members, we like to have you in row, then 1.5 meters behind the next row. And you have done this so many times in supermarkets, you know. I think you know exactly what is 1.5 meters. Okay, after race. Congratulations, you made it, and you were a happy finisher of Adidas Infinite Trails 2021. And right now the fun part starts. With coming into the finish line right here, you go in on the quick pick and run aid station, which is in the Kurpark area. And then you go in out, so there will be no big facilities, no benches and stuff like this to rest. So we would like you guys to get out of this area quickly, because then you can spread out in a much bigger area where you will be much more safe than in that area. That is quite big, but don't wait here for your buddies or something like this. The food buffet is in the restaurant area of the Alpentherme. It's a 350-seater restaurant. You will have an amazing pasta and rice buffet. Everything will be done for you there. And then it's also, we're gonna issue or gonna distribute you the finisher medal in your personal award ceremony in the Adidas Terex Medal Corner. Adidas is setting up a Medal Corner booth where we doing the team award medal presentation for you, or as a single runner, or you want to have your first medal on your own. This is also where you're going to pick up your finisher shirt, and you will enjoy that. So you will have your personal moment, standing on the awards backdrop, standing on that podium, and being taken and taking the picture by an Adidas Terex photographer. Edelweiss alcohol-free beer will be located here with a beer booth, Gasteiner as well. We're going to set up a power bar with some recovery drinks. Then it's the reload center and free massage for 65K and teams only, guys. So if you're a 15K runner, unfortunately, you can't take a massage because you also paid less in the team package. So we can't offer you the same service as the team members or the 65K runners have paid. Also fantastic, Eric is waiting you from the Complex team, which will be here in that area where the fitness area is also located on the thermal lake, where you have muscle stimulation and muscle recovery. Massage, there's free complimentary massage for teams in 65K. You also will book your slot through a booking system. So when you're in the finish line, book a slot, and then you go there 5 minutes before it's your time, and then you have to don't queue, you don't have to wait, you go on the massage bed, and then after 15 minutes, you're gonna be in a new level of relaxation. Award ceremony, 8 o'clock, top 3 teams of each category, and the top 3 of the 15K and the 65K of each category, and it will be in the main pool area. So we're gonna celebrate our winners together as a community get-together at 7:30. The volunteers coming from the course will also join us, and we're setting up a big stage there and celebrate the sport, what we have said in the beginning. It is not a full big party, still on the COVID restrictions, but we will have fun. And I think it will be a special award presentation when spectators being in the water, and after it's going to be on the stage over the water. DJ Chainsaw and DJ Zambuca will be our 2 DJs on the set, pumping you up, guys, in the morning and taking you tonight. So we need to leave the Alpentherme Arena or the Alpentherme Spa at 11 o'clock. So I think it's going to be some nice hours where we can celebrate together a fantastic day of racing. My next race briefing will be online on Friday around 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. Just watch out for announcement on social media channels. Don't worry if you miss it. It will be also recorded and will be put on YouTube. For communication reason, we're going to check your mobile phone numbers, because if we have to change something, we want to send you an SMS. But if you're providing us a wrong number, then you won't get that information. Check the social media channels and the website for latest updates and informations. Also, the event bags, which is our electronic starter bag. Redeem and enjoy is the method of this one. You will have a lot of event vouchers, practical information, goodies and discounts from partners. And this is how it looks like. We're going to send you an email. Probably on Thursday or Friday, you will be able to open your event bag. And this is how it looks like. Here you see the registration tab. If you go on that tab, then you have the information how to check in for the registration, for example, register, and then you pick your selected date and the time slot for the registration. Also, coming back, you're going to see right now a lot of vouchers. Gives you just an example. We're setting up the event bag right now for you with your food voucher. You need to go on the food buffet, for example. Information about the routes, the Alpentherme free entry, the food voucher, as I said, Reload Center, Terex Ultra, the Run Wild Compacts, First Aid Kit. Just, there's so many things in. I think you quite need a bit to explore all that stuff. And also we have a new photo service implemented for you for competitors photography. Share your experience. Our 2 hashtags or channels are Infinite Trails Race on Instagram and Visit Gastein. Tag us, and then we can retag you and repost it on all the channels. On race day, we have on the website, we have icons for the results, which are live results. We have a live tracker where you can see where is my buddy running, and we have the race map implemented. So there's a lot of things to experience. Also, spread the word about the New Run app with the course visualization, then people and buddies can follow you where you're exactly and how it looks like. That's from my side, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed that race briefing, giving you all the information. And right now, I hope to look into some great faces and looking into some happy faces before the start, and important for us also after the start. It's a lot of work, which we are happy to do. And right now, safe travels and see you in Gastein.